Digital Wealth Partners now supports XLM custody. What this means for investors. The crypto market is changing fast, and if you own XLM, this latest development could be a game changer for your investment. Digital Wealth Partners has just announced support for XLM custody, a move that could completely shift the way institutional investors interact with Stellar Lumens. This isn't just another partnership announcement. It's a signal, a domino falling that could start a chain reaction. We're talking about serious money stepping into the space. The kind of money that doesn't make moves without deep research, long-term strategy, and infrastructure that supports institutional-grade custody. This means Stellar isn't just for early adopters anymore. The stepping into the big leagues. So let's be clear. This could mark the beginning of a new phase for XLM. A phase where major players are no longer ignoring it. Where the conversation shifts from, what is Stellar? To, how much Stellar should we hold? But what does this really mean for you? Because here's the truth. Being early only pays off when you understand the signals and act before the crowd does. So stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this is a turning point for XLM holders, how it can directly impact your portfolio, and how you can position yourself for maximum gains before the rest of the market catches on. Why custody support matters. Let's break it down. When a major firm like Digital Wealth Partners offers custody services for a crypto asset, it's not just another headline. It's a strong signal of confidence. Institutional investors need safe and compliant ways to store digital assets before they pour in big money. Without trusted custody solutions, these investors stay on the sidelines. Think about it, institutions don't operate like retail traders. They're managing billions. Every move has to be backed by security, regulation, and trust. If there's even a sliver of doubt around custody, they're not touching it. That's why custody support isn't just nice to have, it's essential. It's the green light that tells hedge funds, asset managers, and financial advisors, you're good to go. Now apply that to Stellar. This custody announcement means that XLM is now in the same room as some of the most securely held digital assets in the world. It's being validated at a higher level, and that changes the conversation entirely. And here's the key. More institutional adoption equals more demand, and more demand? Well, that's a direct catalyst for price action. But it's deeper than just price. Custody support means XLM can now be included in investment products, ETFs, trusts, portfolios. It means Stellar isn't just being traded, it's being held. And when institutions start holding, they don't sell at the first sign of red. They accumulate. They hold long. That's stability. That's confidence. That's bullish. The growing institutional interest in XLM. Over the past year, we've seen massive institutions dipping their toes into crypto, but most have been focused on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, Stellar Lumens is finally getting its moment. Why? Because Stellar's blockchain is built for real-world utility, cross-border payments, tokenization, and financial inclusion. We're seeing a shift. Institutions are no longer just exploring crypto, they're strategically moving in. But they're picky. They want assets with infrastructure, with scalability, with purpose. That's where Stellar shines. It's not trying to be everything. It's solving very specific, high-impact problems in global finance. Cross-border payments? Stellar is already working with some of the biggest remittance corridors in the world. Tokenization? It's ahead of the curve with compliance-ready frameworks. Financial inclusion? The Stellar network was designed from the ground up to support underbanked regions. Institutions see this and they see opportunity. With custody support from Digital Wealth Partners, hedge funds, asset managers, and even banks can now securely hold XLM, removing one of the biggest barriers to entry. That's not just a door opening. That's the gates unlocking for capital that was previously locked out. We're talking about capital that thinks in quarters and years, not hours and days. Capital that doesn't FOMO in, it builds positions. Slowly, methodically, but with weight. And when that kind of capital enters the market, it doesn't just move the price, it defines it. And let's be real. The moment institutional players move in, retail investors follow. Just look at what happened with Bitcoin when major firms started offering custody solutions. The floodgates opened, and prices skyrocketed. It became a race not just to hold, but to hold before it's too late. This isn't hype. This is pattern recognition. And right now, XLM is showing all the early signs of a major institutional wave. How this could impact XLM's price? Alright, let's talk numbers. Historically, when assets gain institutional custody support, they experience increased liquidity and reduced volatility, both crucial for long-term price appreciation. This is where the real opportunity lies. Liquidity means institutions can enter and exit positions without disrupting the market. That stability attracts even more capital. And reduced volatility makes XLM more suitable for inclusion in structured investment products, like crypto index funds and institutional portfolios. Now combine that with the strategic mission of Stellar to solve real-world financial problems, and you've got a recipe for serious upside. When institutional investors recognize the difference between speculative hype and utility-backed tokens, XLM becomes an obvious target. And let's not forget, accumulation by institutional players isn't casual. They build positions over time, quietly, patiently, often without drawing too much attention. But when those positions are built, that's when price action erupts, suddenly, aggressively, and often without warning. Some analysts are already suggesting that this could be the beginning of a major price shift for XLM. Not just a spike, a shift, a structural repricing of what Stellar is worth in a market that's now paying serious attention. Could we see a breakout rally? The signs are there: rising volume, increasing social sentiment, and now custody support from a major institutional player. The stars are aligning, and if you're watching closely, you can see the momentum building before the headlines start shouting it. This is the window, the rare moment where the fundamentals are shifting before the chart fully reflects it. What you should do next. So what's the move? If you're holding XLM, now is the time to pay close attention. Look at the historical trends of other assets that received institutional custody support. Many saw substantial gains. But here's the thing: timing matters. Institutional money doesn't move in waves. It moves in stealth. While retail investors are waiting for confirmation, institutions are already positioning. So ask yourself, are you ahead of the curve or waiting to react? If you believe in XLM's long-term potential, this could be a critical accumulation phase. But accumulation isn't just about buying, it's about strategy. Are you holding with conviction? Are you prepared for volatility? Because when institutions enter, markets shift, and weak hands get shaken out before the real upside begins. The key now is to stay informed. The market is shifting fast, and the worst thing you can do is be caught off guard. The best thing? Be ahead of the narrative before the majority catches on. Before you go, don't forget, staying ahead in crypto isn't about luck. It's about information. If you want to stay ahead of the game with updates like this, subscribe now and hit that notification bell so you don't miss what's next. Drop a comment below. Do you think institutional adoption will send XLM soaring? Let's discuss it. This is just the beginning. The crypto market is evolving, and the winners will be those who stay informed. Keep watching, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next one.